Hey guys, it's Sekaar, and today we're going to be going over my Magical Warden build for the Firesong chapter. I've been really enjoying this build. I've finally found a Magic Warden build that I really like. It's been tough to find one because I feel like either you're lacking healing, or you're lacking damage, or you're lacking recovery, but I really feel like this kind of build has all in one, and I really enjoy it a lot. So guys, without further ado, let's get on with the video. We're going to be a Breton on our Magic Warden. I really like Breton on this because of the reduced cost passive on all of your magic abilities. It's going to help your sustain. And honestly, I think sustain on MagDen is probably the toughest thing about the entire class. So we are definitely going to want to go Breton on this. I really don't think there's any other option right now. Maybe Imperial to also get another reduced cost passive. But honestly, I think Breton is the only way to go with this. We're going to have 38 points into magic and 26 points into health to give us a max health pool of 29k, but we're also going to be improving that when we heal ourselves because of the minor toughness, so don't worry about that. It's going to go up. Our max magic is going to be 24k, and our max stamina is going to be 15.3k. Our Mundstone is going to be the warrior. And we're going to be using Orzoga's Marked Bear Hunch as our food. As always, use Jewels of Misrule if you can afford this. This is very expensive, so don't really worry about it if you can't afford it. But this is going to give us our max health bonus, and then also increase our stamina and magic cure by 369 for 2.5 hours. We're going to be a Vampire Stage 3 on this build because Vampire Stage 3 is really important to put on most of my builds. To get that Undeath passive is really helpful. To be more tanky, the less healthy you are, it really saves you in a lot of situations. So I definitely recommend going Vamp Stage 3. As far as our gear goes, our helmet is going to be a heavy ice furnace helmet in the reinforced trait. And then before I even go any farther, as we can see, all of our body pieces are going to have the prismatic enchant on it. So again, heavy ice furnace helmet in reinforced. And then ice furnace is going to give us max magic, crit chance, weapon and spell damage. And then when you deal frost damage, you deal an additional 1100 flame damage to all enemies within 8 meters around the initial target. And then it can occur once every 1 second. But don't worry, that tooltip's going to go a lot higher because we're on our back bar right now and we haven't even buffed up yet at all. So that damage is going to significantly increase when we're fully buffed up and in combat. So I know that number doesn't look a lot right there, but it's definitely going to increase. We're going to be using One Piece Magma Incarnate because we have 1 extra slot in this build. And honestly, getting that extra little bit of stamina and magic recovery is definitely helpful. Heavy Ice Furnace chest piece in reinforced as well. Our legs are also going to be heavy Ice Furnace in reinforced. Our other body pieces are going to be Rallying Cry. We're going to be using light Rallying Cry in our Divines as our hands. Rallying Cry, this is going to be our back bar set. This is going to give you crit chance, max magic, crit chance again. And then when Battle Spirit is active, aka when you're in Cyrodiil, Imperial City, Battlegrounds, or a duel, if you critically heal yourself or an ally, you're going to increase your weapon and spell damage by 300, and then you're also going to increase your critical resistance by 1650 for 20 seconds, and that can always reapply. So honestly, I really like this. This gives you a lot of tankiness, and then you could build into your Mundstone as well by going Divines instead of Impen, and it gives you a lot more damage as well. So again, light Divines for our hands and Rallying Cry. Rallying Cry is Sash in Divines. Rallying Cry shoes in Divines as well. Our jewelry is going to be Ice Furnace as our necklace in the Bloodthirsty trait with a weapon damage enchant on it. I like Bloodthirsty a lot. I've seen a severe increase in my damage by using this lately. The heals get a little affected by this, but honestly, it's worth it to get that extra damage on here. It is definitely the way to go over infused. We're going to be using an infused Marken Ring, or not infused, I'm sorry, a Bloodthirsty Marken Ring as well to increase our damage even more with, again, the weapon damage enchant. Since we have 3 pieces active at all times with both the Rallying Cry and our Ice Furnace being active, we're going to increase our weapon and spell damage by 200 and also give us 2300 armor for having Marken active. Our other ring is going to be a Bloodthirsty Ice Furnace ring with a weapon damage enchant on it as well. So triple Bloodthirsty for our jewelry to increase our damage as much as possible. Our front bar weapon is going to be the Master's Perfected Ice Staff in the Sharpen trait. And then we're also going to have a weapon and spell damage increase enchant on this as well. This is going to, the perfected line gives you 103 weapon and spell damage, and then the actual two-piece of this is it reduces the cost of destructive touch by 10%, which it's already expensive as it is, so I'll take that. And then increases your weapon and spell damage by 600 for 4 seconds after activating this. And honestly, it's going to be one of your main spammables, so it is a lot of extra damage that you get, and it really helps a lot. So I like this a lot for my front bar weapon. A lot. It really does. It does the damage, and I like it. Our back bar is going to be Rallying Cry Sword and Shield with a powered sword and a sturdy shield. I was toying with the idea of using defending, but honestly, I like powered too. They're both good. I don't think you're wrong with either way you go. Onto our skills, we're going to be using Frost Reach as our main spammable. This is what's going to be buffed by your Master's Ice Staff. I know the damage doesn't look much with the 7,000 frost damage, but again, we're not buffed up at all. We didn't get that 600 weapon and spell damage from activating this once. We don't have our Netch active. We don't have our Rallying Cry proc, so that damage gets a lot higher when you're in the middle of combat and actually fully buffed up. Bird of Prey, this is going to give you a source of major expedition, but also what's very important about this is while slotted, you just have minor berserk, so you're hitting a lot harder just for having this. And then also it is your snare removal, and this is going to help you get out of those situations where you're stuck, so definitely keep this active on your front bar. Crystallized Slab, this is a great way to deal with ranged builds. If you're just getting sniped at or a mag sork is on you, you can just hit this and they're just going to be hitting themselves really hard, and then that's a good time to turn around and go offensive too on them. Deep Fissure, this is going to be a great little burst to line up between this and Frost Reach and even your Dawnbreaker. It's also going to affect them with minor and major breach, so it's going to reduce their physical and spell resistance by 6k and 3k, so it's about 9k in total that you're reducing it by, which is massive. So once you're in that fight, it is going to really, really help you a lot, especially when you're brawling on this build. It feels good. Unstable Wall of Frost, I like this to put down in like a tower or just a really close situation, so they have to stand in it. So, but just by having this active, you're going to have that little AoE on the ground that they're stepping in. They're taking damage from that, and then since it's all frost damage, they're also taking damage from the Ice Furnace set that you're wearing. I really like the way it combos together, and I really think it lets you control the fight really well. And I like the way it feels in PvP, especially in those nice little close quarter fights. And then Dawnbreaker is going to be on our front bar. This is going to be one of the two ultimates that we're going to use because for me, I'm not using this as much as my other ultimate, but having this active on my front bar, I'm increasing my weapon and spell damage just for having this on there because of the Fighter's Guild passives. But it's useful in certain situations. I just like using my back bar ultimate better, and that is Northern Storm. Let's go over the ultimate first because we're already talking about it. I really like Northern Storm because of the just constant amount of pressure you put out for that 8-second duration. And then on top of that, it's all frost damage as well. So you're getting the duration of that damage for 8 seconds. And then also every second you're also applying your Ice Furnace damage as well. So it's 2 for the price of 1. And then on top of that, you're also weaving in your Sub Assault. You're weaving in Master's Ice Staff pulls. So I think it does a lot of AoE pressure, and I really like it. It also increases your weapon and spell damage by 300 for 30 seconds. And on top of that, you get major protection too. So you're tanky and you do more damage. I like it a lot. But let's go on to our actual skills. On our back bar, we're going to be using Arctic Blast. This is going to be your main burst heal. And then on top of that, you're going to be, you can CC any enemies that are nearby too. So that is a great way to kind of get your bearings and get a lot of people off you and then just kind of cut away. Blue Betty is going to be our source of major brutality and sorcery. So it's going to increase our weapon and spell damage by 20%. And then also every 5 seconds, the Netch is going to remove 1 negative effect from you, which is pretty good. I like it. Resolving Vigor, this is going to be your main heal over time. So you're going to get a nice heal over 5 seconds. And then on top of that, you're getting Minor Resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 3k for 20 seconds. Leeching Vines is going to be another heal over time that you keep on yourself, and I really like this one. You get minor lifesteal as well on your enemies, so if somebody attacks you, you get the health from that too, so I really like it. And then Ice Fortress, you are going to be getting Major Resolve from this, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 6k. And on top of this, you get minor protection as well. So between using Ice Fortress and if you're in a Northern Storm, you're going to have major and minor protection. I love it. It's really tanky and it really helps you out a lot in these fights. Onto our champion points, our blue slottables are going to be Focus Mending, Mastered Arms, Ironclad, and Wrathful Strikes. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do a combination of either Wrathful Strikes and, where is it, the AoE one, Biting Aura. Like, I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do, but I've been working with Wrathful Strikes a lot lately, and I really like it. But they're both very good. You can use either one. I don't really see that much of a difference. Our red slottables are going to be Sustained by Suffering, Survival Instincts, Pain's Refuge, and Celerity. And then our green slottables are going to be Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Sustained by Sustaining Shadows, and Steed's Blessing. And then, as always, make sure you have your Breakfall CP in as well. That's it, guys. That is the MagDen build that I've been using so far for the Firesong chapter. I hope you guys enjoy. I've been kind of getting a little burnt out on this game lately. The PvP has been, honestly, it's been lacking so much lately. You can feel that there's been a lull. I feel like the morale is down everywhere, and I'm trying to remain positive, and I'm trying to push through and continue to push out these builds and really produce some quality content. But it's a little tough sometimes, guys, but I promise you I'm doing my best. I'm trying. I hope that you guys see that. I'm doing my best. But guys, I can just rant all day about this. So I'm just going to end the video there. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed, please do so. It helps me out tremendously. That's it from me, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next video. Later.